Hello, welcome back to Game Pass Plus, your premium addition to your Game Pass subscription.
Where you get more bang for your buck. Now there you go, Mondu. He can use that audio. Clip it.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. That was nice and solid. Hello, welcome back to the show. Hope you guys are doing well and swell. Tyler, welcome back. Tyler, thank you so much for putting that live notification in the server, except I wasn't live yet.
Can't slam the table.
Oh yeah, I can't slam the table. I'm just messing with you, Tyler.
Otherwise, I would have slammed it already.
Miss Michelle, welcome back to the show. Loving the name. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. It is a good morning indeed. Bacon Sanity. He says, I made it. I forgot it was Tuesday with the holiday yesterday. Welcome back to the show. Yeah, I feel like you were just here. Does it feel like you were just here? Is it just me?
Yeah, I was just here.
I feel like your presence, you never really left. You know what I mean?
I never really leave him. I'm such a strong presence anyway.
That's true. I mean, it's the embodiment of the universe, you know.
It
Commander
is.
Shepard in the flesh here.
Yeah.
Bacon Sanity, how you doing, my good sir?
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, on the newborn.
That's what you're gonna be your life. You hit up Bacon.
Yeah, Bacon, how you doing? I'm not sleeping either.
Yeah, basically.
Bacon, I can't remember. It's a little girl, right? I believe. Pretty sure. I feel pretty confident with that. I'm not sure. We'll see. Welcome to the show, Courtney. How you doing? Cyclone B, welcome back.
It's an actual bee, right?
Yeah. It's an actual bee.
It scares me though. Is like a bee like coming at you and then like using like cyclone. I don't know. I know it's not like an actual move, but
it'd be awesome.
Bro, I would not be cool if like a bee just.
Oh come on!
You're
it would
swatting
number one
at a bee.
But here's the thing: it would have to be an enormous bee, which is even cooler.
Okay, that's not cool. And anyway,
yeah,
we don't have to. It doesn't have to be
bigger spike. Bigger. Stinger.
What if it's just a normal bee, like a literally normal bee, just cyclone, boom, just appears and then wrecks your whole house?
Then it's one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I mean,
that's
you know what I mean? I'm a real big bee. All right, yeah, no. See, I'm liking this.
That's
big
just
stinger, a little bit of venom in there. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna die then.
Maybe we're friends with the bee.
This is true.
Cyclone bee, welcome to the show. We love having you.
A giant bee.
Yes.
It's like human size.
Awesome.
This.
Could you imagine the nest? It would be like a skyscraper.
It'd basically be a house.
It would be like. Could you imagine the hive of a cyclone bee? No, that's the best part. When we do discover inevitably the cyclone bee, we have to call it a cyclone bee because it's so enormous.
So then we have to discover it first.
Like it's like flying by, and you see like little gusts on both sides. You know, it's forming little cyclones.
They name it something
by.
stupid. You know that we'd have to like petition them, be like, "Yo, that's a
true.
Stupid name."
That's true. They would probably name it incorrectly. We'd be like, "No, it's the cyclone bee."
We planned this back in 2021, so
yes.
20 years down the road.
This has to be. You like that?
No.
Come on. I did it. Bacon Sandy says, I'm the best bee. I mean, it's hard to argue with Bacon. I mean, Bacon is magnificent.
It's true. Actual bacon.
Yes. It's like the manna sent down from the ether. You know what I mean? Like you can't even. It's like, thank you, this exists.
Maybe the cyclone bee eats bacon. We don't know. It's actual.
Hold up. Wait a second. I'm trying to think back to, Genesis and all this. And I'm thinking,
like the book of Genesis?
Yeah.
There is no giant bees in there.
I'm not talking about the bees. I'm talking about the manna. The manna.
They left that part out.
They left that part out?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's because it was bacon.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Because then they're like, they technically have to, get it from somewhere. We don't want to tell them where.
Oh, look at the bee emoji. Okay, I do love the bee emoji. Bees are awesome sauce. Besides the fact that they're borderline going extinct and we're killing them off, I mean, bees are awesome.
How are we killing them off? I don't go in
pesticides.
Oh, that's true.
And then the pesticides end up killing off the bees as well as the pests that are eating the crops.
I learned that bees have a messed up life. It was just a whole thing I learned.
Yeah. Bees. I mean,
it's bad.
The whole animal kingdom is its own layer of messed up.
It's savage. Yeah, it's a savage place to live.
That's why they're animals. They're savage animals. Not Cyclone Bee though. Cyclone Bee, you're awesome.
He's a sentient bee.
Maybe.
I guess would a sentient bee like?
You don't know. This could be a queen bee.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a sentient bee, like a human.
That's even better. That's even better.
He's like, yeah, as long as it's not like a sentient machine.
Do you think there's
them.
All right, I'm trying not to get dinged here. I'll word this carefully. Do you think
we're gonna get dinged?
There's a bee, a furry? Do you think that's a thing?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure it is.
Just any animal, yes.
All right. Before we get dinged, Bacon Sanity says, and bees are responsible for pollination of millions of species of plants. If they go, all the flora goes as well. Save the bees, save the earth. Yeah, we need the bees.
Yeah.
Poor bees.
Yeah, I could live without certain things, but then I'm like, oh, technically we need spiders, but
we'll kill off the mosquitoes and leave it there. Save the bees. Yes, hashtag save the bees. Yeah, we need bees. Bees are good. Bees are great.
Okay.
Especially the bumblebee, my favorite bee. They're the most adorable thing. They literally bumble around. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're just little dudes.
They're just fuzzy little monsters.
They don't mess with you.
They don't mess with you. They're nice bees.
Wasps, I guess.
I'm not a fan of wasps.
Yeah.
They can live too, but
now here's what basically if Save the Bees becomes a thing.
Yes, it's been a thing.
Back to us.
Okay, yeah. No, it's been a thing.
I didn't know that.
We could just assist in the hashtag. Like I said, it says have a beehive in your backyard near the neighbors you don't like. Win-win. Make your own honey. That's great. Hey, Bacon, you're. I like you. All right. Hello. Welcome back to the show. Today's episode, I will admittedly, right now, will probably be a little bit short, and it has nothing to do with our schedule. Why?
Because E3 is literally right around the corner.
Yeah,
I think we're on the cusp.
Yeah, we are on the cusp.
Yes.
Of E3.
The Verge.
The Verge?
Once more.
The Verge. Okay.
The Verge,
Sorry,
Verge.
I'm so used to the website for sourcing. The Verge,
No, we're on the Verge.
Yes, no, you're right. It has its own meaning beyond the name. The next time we do a show, we will be. What is today?
The first.
Okay, so
I told you it was June.
We will be basically right at E3. It will be on the doors of E3, knocking it down. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited, although news is a bit scarce, but I still wanted to go ahead and update you guys today, as there is updates. They just bumble around. They do, Legend. They just bumble.
Bacon, forget my years of support, subscription, and patronage. My advice is to support the bees and piss off neighbors of what did it.
That's right. Bacon, I like you. You finally made it. Yes, you did. Mondu! Welcome back from the grave. How you doing, my good sir?
It's only half that realm.
The half dead realm? Yeah, so
what does Mondu do down there?
Well, he's falling apart. So he went to this building, okay, and they sat him down in a chair, okay? They stabbed him. They stabbed him in the arm with a big needle and injected mysterious fluid in there, okay? And he's not feeling so great. So Mondu, hello, welcome back to the show. Hope you're doing well, or at least more well than you were. He got his COVID vaccine.
Yeah, I kind of got that after a while. I genuinely was like,
I didn't know if you got it.
Well, when you said he went to a building, I was like, this sounds sketchy already.
I should have been a
you just said
basement.
You just said a building. I'm like, what did he contract? Like tetanus or something like
potentially the COVID, but I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness. Megan says y'all should play Bee Simulator now. Yeah, I do know that's a thing, but I've never heard anything about it. I guess you just roll around in the flowers a bit.
No, there's an actual Bee Simulator. I
remember it being like a knockoff when Goat Simulator was big.
No, it was only a couple years ago that it came out.
Yeah.
Goat Simulator's been out for years.
That's true.
Goat Simulator is not an actual simulator. We're just going to say that right now. Because
I've never played it.
Neither have I. What I'm saying is the Bee Simulator, you act like a bee. You know how many simulators there are? There's firefighter simulator. There's car mechanic simulator.
Dude, there's a police simulator. I wanted to do a co-op stream for a while ago. Didn't work out.
Yeah. There's that. There was a rumor of a hobo simulator, but that was just that was actually in beta and stuff. I saw a video for it.
Probably not the greatest concept.
But like I said, you've got hunting simulator, fishing simulators.
Bacon says train simulator. Flight simulator.
Okay, train simulator though, is like flight simulator. Those I don't know why that thing is graphic heavy. It's super realistic.
That's what simulators are for.
I know, but I'm talking about you think of
The Sims. Thank you.
That doesn't count.
Hey, The Sims is great.
It's not. Yeah, But I'm saying is Train Simulator is like Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like, that's like the go-to. Like, they train people with Flight
Look, if
Simulator.
you're a train person, you're going to want that.
Oh, it's crazy. It was on GamePass once, I think, and I tried it. And I was like,
Yeah,
this is ridiculously beautifully game.
Bacon says Train Simulator's on Game Pass.
I was, okay.
That's awesome.
Then that's where I tried it once. And I was like, I'm going to try the hype. And I was like, you got to slow the thing down and all this and that. And you can walk around the platform. I'm like, oh my God, this is intense.
This is amazing. So you just get to simulate riding on a train?
No, you're the person you're the guy, the conductor of the train. There's different trains.
Can you crash it?
I think so.
I mean,
it told me how to slow down.
I assume if you can obviously crash the planes in Flight Simulator. So I assume you can crash the trains.
I like Flight Simulator, but I like Ace Combat because I feel like Flight Simulator is too relaxing.
It's too relaxing. It's like,
so I've seen.
All right, we flying.
If you want to see some funny videos, like I got into that YouTube hole a few times.
Oh yeah,
where it was it was Microsoft Flight Simulator, and people are just like, they're pretending, they're like, this is flight control, so and
yes,
and then they're like, you got a whole, we have a F-18 just kind of doing stuff random, and then those guys who just get on there and act way more realistic. Yes. I love people like that.
I love that.
And he was like, he goes, what's your call sign? And they're like, Tango. Something. He goes, you don't know your call sign? It was funny. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Like, I absolutely love it when people do like the full role play thing. It's like, you know what? Like when it comes to just about anything with like passion and that kind of thing, it's like if they go 100% in, it's like I'm all for it. It's like you go for it.
It was real, but it was also a joke at the same time. It's also like that. Was it Battlefield 5? Or no, 4, where the guy... Have you seen that one too?
I don't like so.
Where he's like, this is Captain So-and-so.
I've never seen this.
It's a funny video. We'll have to find
this is great.
He's like, what's your position? He goes, and they're all like, he's pretending he can't. He's like, I am your commander. Like, it's a good one.
I absolutely love this as a concept. All right, let me get you a chat here. Monty says, vaccine knocked me out hard. Almost fell twice during the small walk from the bus stop to my house. My goodness. Ms. Michelle says that shot kicked my butt too. Feel better soon.
You still have a second one? Or did Mandu get the...
I think that was the first one.
That's what I'm saying. He still has a second one.
Yeah.
As long as he as long as he didn't take the one that they
this
canceled.
Shot is, you just get wrecked. I got the COVID, so I was knocked out for a week and a half.
You got the vid.
I got the vid. Yes.
There are some people who the first one will knock out. Or they'll be fine, and then there's sometimes the second one they knock you. Like it's hit or miss, and then I know some people. It depends
on which one you get to.
Plus, it also depends on you as a person.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, oh, it was fine, and then other people are like, I almost died.
Well,
it's insane.
I was reading something I think yesterday. I don't know how accurate it was, but it said like people with like O negative blood type, like they don't even notice they get COVID or whatever. And I was like, what's your blood type? And he goes, it's this. And I'm like, oh, I got the same. You're going to get wrecked.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the validity of it. I did hear, though, that they're supposedly on the verge of, I don't say on the verge, or maybe they did, and I haven't read into it, that there is a blood type that was not as, what is the word I'm looking for, affected.
Yeah.
And I think it was O.
Yeah, it was O negative. Is what it
was like you had a better chance of like if you got COVID.
You just it doesn't mess with you as much.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, don't know the accuracy of that. We don't want to get banned by for spreading false information.
Yeah, no.
But
we are not a supplier of COVID information for the record.
It was just something I heard across the wire, and I'm like, oh, interesting. I don't know what blood type I am, so I don't know. I don't know.
What are you gonna do? You're sitting there dying, and the doctor's like, "What's your blood type?" And they can just test it. What's your blood type?
Yeah, I was
like, oh no!
Just grab a bag of everything, and then
you can't do that.
Yeah, they take one bag of everything, and then then they're like, while they're running the test, and be like, all right, we can put this one in them.
They just gotta check your blood type.
Well, I don't know how they check my blood type.
I don't know how they do it. I'm not a doctor.
Exactly.
I'm a game analyst. I'm a game analyst, not a doctor.
I've asked them multiple times to be like, yo, what's my blood type? And they're like, we'll check it. And they never check it. I'm like,
They probably check it. They just don't bother telling you because they're that's irrelevant.
I'm going to die.
It's hilarious. All right, let me see. Becky Sandy says, I went to Play NYC when living in New York, and a developer was showing a plane passenger simulator. And you sat in a chair, read a magazine, played with the AC, and I love it. Not sure if he ever released it. That's awesome.
I think it would be pretty good for people who can't ride on airplanes or have a fear of planes.
Yeah. It could be good therapy.
Yeah.
Put them in VR headset and be like, all right, we're doing this, and then you can take it off and escape.
Some people couldn't play Subnautica because they were deathly afraid of water, and that's what we were gonna use on a friend of ours.
Yeah.
A friend, not us, but me and this other guy knew, and we were gonna try, but he couldn't even play the game. Like he fell in the water to Sea of Thieves and lost his mind. I was like, bro, just swim up.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
But that's not how anxiety works. Anxiety is an intense adrenaline rush of chaos, is what it is.
So, what do you say? I'm old type, so I won't get it. But Jim, all you eat is flaming hot Cheetos, and you weigh 450. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much going on with this thing. Like I said, we're not a supplier of medical information. Don't take advice from me.
We just happen to hear it. Oh no, your car warranty.
Not the car warranty. Screen the call. All right. Anyway, so all right, let's go ahead and get into what it is we're doing today.
They should bacon, but then the problem becomes like they may not be able to cure the phobia.
One final courtesy call. I've had 45 of those. Report as spam. Click. Please remove this number from your mailing list. Thanks. Goodbye. I love Google screening. It's so
That's
cool.
actually pretty cool.
It's so cool.
I just hit.
Like you've been mother loving denied.
I just hit click and don't answer. I'm sleeping.
You know, that's one of those things where I want to. You know what? Never mind. I'm writing it down. Another day. All right, guys. I gotta write this down for my other thing. Let's see. Spam callers. How is this legal? Question mark.
House.
Bots. Not spots. Bots.
As you can see,
It said not spots anyway. I'm gonna lose it.
I wonder, you're right. You'd have to look into the laws, like calling spam people.
It's totally legal somehow. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm really excited. Nick, hello, welcome back to the show. Check this guys out. We have, I know I've already, come on now, I already did this.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
There it is. All right, so I know I already went over this, but the Xbox show conference, the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase, will be June 13th. That is Sunday, and it's going to be at...
It's going to be 12 o'clock.
It says 10 a.m.
The time.
Okay.
Yeah, 12. It'd be 12.
12 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, so if you need to know your time zone, let me know. I'm actually pretty good at that. I used to do that all the time for everybody.
All right, Mountain Time.
It'd be 11.
Yes, that's correct.
I know I'm correct.
Mandu Time.
That's a good one. I had to double check. Mandu's what? Plus...
I think he's one more than Eastern Time.
So then he'd be at 2.
2 p.m. Eastern Time, I think, for Mandu Time. I'm not really sure. All right.
So
anyway,
he gets his own time zone?
Yes. So the Xbox Bethesda showcase is going to be... Oh, look at that. You can't see the mouse, but you can see me highlighting the link. So the Xbox Bethesda Games Showcase will be June 13th. I'm really excited about that.
That's a
I can't wait
Sunday,
to see.
people.
Yeah, it's the Sunday.
It
It's actually what Microsoft typically does.
Yep.
They almost always go on this day, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what they have to show, especially Bethesda.
So if they're going on Sunday, I would assume, because it says it starts the 12th, so obviously that's that Saturday.
Yes.
And usually Microsoft isn't the first one to go. It's usually
Sunday.
It's always Sunday.
Yes.
But it used to be Bethesda would be the weekend. So it's interesting to wonder who's going to show things and who's not going to show things.
Typically how this goes, EA Play always goes first. Let's see if we can... I'm just going to quickly do some research here. EA Play 2021. Let's see if we actually have
What's funny is, you guys didn't see this, but on the bottom of the picture, somebody responded to the tweet and put Halo Master Chief Collection and Rare Replay on the Nintendo Switch. The Rare Replay might play well on the Nintendo Switch, but if you're trying to play the Master Chief Collection on the Switch, you'll probably break your Switch.
Probably, and this is...
It's too graphic.
Bizarre. It looks like we do have... I was unaware of this. We have a time for EA Play, which I didn't know. Question mark? Is this last year's time? EA Play, spring, blah, 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 blah.
No.
Yeah, maybe this is from last.
This is EA Play, bro. Like the actual.
No, get out of here! Get out of here!
It was just type in EA, E3 EA.
According to this one, it says it's going to be Saturday, June 12th. No, it's not.
E3 21.
Live event is rumored to take place Monday. Really? EA Play never goes last. All right, never mind. This is just completely useless.
Yeah, well, it's a rumor. It's possible.
They always go Saturday. I just don't see it. And if they don't go
Ubisoft.
If Ubisoft steps on them, EA will come in and go Friday. That's EA.
They wouldn't go in for... Oh, you're saying move forward?
Yeah, they want to be first. You know what I'm saying?
All right. You gotta show the new Madden game.
All right, let's keep going here. So we know when Microsoft is going to be going. I saw this. I came across this really cool image. It's a let me see. Basically, a guy who does Xbox leaks and that kind of thing. He made this really cool picture. I wanted to show you guys of Microsoft's 23 studios, which is really cool.
What's funny is don't they also have a 23? Like one of their studios is.
I think 23. They do.
They just make me laugh.
Yeah. Really cool, really exciting.
Plus, it helps remind you what games they make.
Absolutely. Yeah, it kind of like you were asking about Compulsion Games and
or the fourth one, I think. Fourth or fifth on there.
Yeah, Compulsion Games. They do We Happy Few. They did. I'm almost positive they did Quantum Conundrum. If you guys remember that game, the not Portal knockoff.
I don't remember that game at all.
Eric tried it because he loves Portal.
Yeah.
You know, he tried it, and I think he said it was okay. But it's not Portal, is what it was. Anyway, I just thought that was a really cool image to see and to kind of show off their different things. My biggest question is going to be, what is the Coalition going to be working on next?
Which one is that?
That's the studio that does Gears.
Well, Gears 5 came out, what?
I would be really
2 years
sad.
ago?
Too many years ago.
No.
Just kidding. It's too soon.
Exactly.
We just got the Hivebuster DLC for the Series X to kind of launch with that.
You're still adding. They do like a season 2.
That's what I'm saying. Is like after Gears 5 and an entire expansion for the Hivebuster expansion and all that. It's like they really need a break.
They did their little Gears Tactics, didn't they? The mobile game. I'm just saying that's what they did. Yeah, it was like a weird mobile game. Because it involved like Funko
No, they
Pops
actually
and stuff.
No, they still have it on. They have it on.
Oh, I didn't know that. They did a mobile game with like Funko Pops and stuff.
Heck.
Do you actually think they're gonna work on something besides Gears?
They deserve it.
I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm just saying would they? If that's all you've made is Gears games. Trust
me, you know that they're dying to get out of Gears at this point. I don't even know how many the Coalition worked on. Let me see.
Well, obviously, there's 5 Gears, and I think there's one little spin-off one.
Let me see. The Coalition. Gears of War series from 2014 to present.
There's only 200 studios. Or 200 people.
So they did So they're the ones who did Gears of War Ultimate, 4, 5, and Tactics. So they didn't do all the Gears.
Oh, they've only done the recent one.
The original Gears. I mean, if you call that the recent one. You know, like if 2015,
4, 5,
16,
and then the
19,
Ultimate Edition was like a 4 plus all its DLC.
Yes.
So they've only been doing it for a little bit.
That's a while since 2015. That did nothing but Gears. Could you imagine working at that company? We make Gears.
I
think I would hate Gears.
They made the Ultimate Edition, which actually no, the Ultimate Edition was I think like a compilation of the first one.
Yes, it was.
And then what does it say right there? It's
a remastered edition of
the
Gears
first
of War,
installment. So they remade the first one. Then a year later they worked on number 4, and then Gears 5 came out. Was it 2 years ago at this point? Yeah, 2 years, and they did Gears Tactics last year.
Like they could do a Gears 6, but I would say give it a break. You got a new console, let them do something new. But that being said, it's still too soon to see anything.
They've only done, and before that they did Microsoft Flight and a Facebook game. And that was in 2011 and 2012. So what I'm trying to say is, if you scroll up, they only have 200 employees. I don't know how.
200 is huge.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's huge. So basically, at this point, since it's been 2 years since they've made anything for like Gears Tactics, they did. I suppose I wouldn't be surprised to see them
They're good.
announce something, but that would be about it.
My other fear though would be like, what would it be Gears-ish? Would be my, you know what I mean?
Maybe it's kind of like Naughty Dog, who's done nothing but they've done absolutely nothing other than Last of Us and Uncharted. It's like, you guys have got to be dying to do something new.
Didn't they do? Who made Crash back in the day? I always get them. No, they didn't.
That was Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking. I mean, like, within the last 15 years, they've done nothing but Last of Us and Uncharted. Now that would wear dry after probably the first 2 years. So, anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
That's because Epic owned Gears of War. Microsoft bought them in 2014. Didn't know that.
Yes, that's correct.
And they are put in charge of future
Epic
Gears games. So it doesn't say they're working on anything.
Yeah. No, we don't know. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to see at this E3 that they announce something other than Gears. Because they're a really talented studio. So I think it would be wise to get them doing something else. Wait, didn't Naughty Dog do Infamous? Or am I mistaken? I think they did. That's not. No. Infamous.
They have so many. Like, even these I've never heard of. You know, I mean, in Exile, they're apparently like an
That's
RP.
Sucker Punch. Yeah, I was like, no. That's Sucker Punch. They did. Sucker Punch also did Spider-Man, right?
The new one? No.
Sucker Punch make?
I don't know.
Wait. I went to the Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm mixing together my studios. Infamous, Ghost of Tsushima, Sly Cooper. Come on! I want to play Sly Cooper so bad. My wife has a PlayStation 2.
I've never played it. That's one of the few PS2 games, like few PlayStation games that I would really want to play.
Yeah, like I want to play it really bad. Like I'm already a Star Fox fan. Maybe that makes me a furry question. I think there's specific backgrounds you need. I think there's specific requirements for being a furry. Like Star Fox, absolutely love Star Fox. I watched my wife sit down and play Sly Cooper, and I was like, this is tremendous when I was watching it. Like, just the production value on a PlayStation 2 game was astounding. And I'm so mad that I can't really enjoy it in a modern-day setting in any way. I think that they had a collection, or something that... but
again, it was only like PS3.
3, and I never bought a PlayStation 3 with good reason. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you look at Microsoft Studios, and we're just talking about it real quick because with E3 coming out, it seems like to me what they've done is actually compile so they have one that's strictly on Gears. They have an RPG specialist.
Yes.
They have this person that's really good at this style of games. They have just strictly a Forza one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like Playground Games is working on Fable. They said, all right, well, you worked on Forza, and we made a new company. This is on strictly for Forza. It's interesting. They have a sole focus on the zombie-based series. That's the whole reason Undead Labs exists. It's just interesting to see that we have a primary mobile games developer.
It makes you wonder if these companies are going to be heavily specialized, but at the same time, Microsoft might be sitting there saying, well, hey, you want to work on a different style of game. It's like, you want to come over to this company that we also own that makes those styles of games? They could just trade their talent around, which is smart.
I would think you could probably do that and just move your people around. I guess logically it seems more streamlined to have multiple companies that are good at one thing, which may sound mean, may kind of, like you said, cuff hands, but look at how we're in. You're in efficiency. And back then, if I want an RPG, I want the best RPG studio working on it.
We go to Bethesda, or not Bethesda, I'm sorry. Well, Bethesda's
good
for RPGs.
Bethesda,
I was going to say,
we
go to BioWare, when we expect a great RPG.
Yes, exactly. And it's not, and I'm not saying that the other studios can't.
No, this is smart.
I guess it's one of those, it's less of a risk.
It's a smart decision considering I know the game industry pretty well, and it's the turnover rate for employees for the game industry is huge. Number one, they're laid off constantly.
Yeah, because if they don't have any contracts and stuff, there's nothing they can do.
So when it comes, and I hope to see this is something that Microsoft pulls off. I hope this is something that Microsoft pulls off, where it's like, hey, instead of laying people off nonstop and then rehiring a bunch of new people, it's like retain your talent. shift your talent to places
That's
where
what
it
I'm
makes
saying.
sense.
Move. You're right. Move them around. You have 23 studios. That's God knows how many employees just in those alone.
Yeah.
Pick and move.
Hey, Bethesda. It's like, hey, look, Bethesda's got an opening right over here. It's like we know what happened. You probably had dreams about working
I would
Bethesda
assume,
someday.
a lot of companies like to, promote in what is it? In company.
Yes.
They want to, move up the
company
ranks,
hiring and that
which
kind of
I think has always been a genius idea. Which can suck to some people to get
You
into the
retain
game
your
and
talent.
into.
It's very
Yes,
smart.
exactly. Especially if you've worked hard and you're like, hey, we need this story developer over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bring him over.
All right.
Just my opinion.
No, I agree. It's good. Let me see. All right, so let's go ahead and get into... Now, I did discover this. I'm really excited. I discovered the formula.
You've cracked the code?
I've cracked the code! I sat down yesterday. I have a new workflow, okay? And yesterday morning, I sat down. I had dedicated work time, and I said, I'm going to figure this thing out. So I cracked the code. Game Pass announces games for Game Pass. It is literally every other Tuesday. There was some occasions where it was like off on a different day. A while ago, I saw it appeared on a Monday instead of the traditional Tuesday. But it does seem extremely consistent that it's every other Tuesday. So I'm excited that we kind of now know that, so that we can kind of
that
shape the show.
Now that I think about it too,
yes,
that also adds on to my whole statement. So go ahead and pop it up, right?
Sure. Let's go ahead and get into it. We did get the new games announced for Game Pass, and I gotta admit,
Darkest Dungeon is about the only bonus.
It's looking a little barren.
For Honor has been free multiple times.
Yeah, I'm actually, I was confused. I was like, I think that went free to play a while ago, didn't it?
No, it's been Games with Gold free. It's never been free to play. It's free to play already, but it's been Games with Gold.
Okay.
It's not as, there's been people who that's a hardcore, you can get hardcore people. People are coming with broken controllers for that game. I'm like, whoa.
I think what it is it's a Ubisoft game, and they have really dedicated fans sometimes.
The game is not bad. It's just
fine.
not something I could sit there and do constantly.
I
play against the bots.
Yeah, I noticed when I turned it on and I was playing it, I was like, this is kind of cool, but at the same time, I kind of get.
I would like to.
Gimmick.
I need to
I'll
play the single player. In all honesty, that's something I still want to do. I think it's interesting because they just added a fourth faction. Yeah. But what made me upset was I feel like so there's the three main factions in For Honor, which is it's the Knights, Vikings, and Samurai. Well, then they made a new faction that was
is it the Chinese or something?
But the newest faction, there's a fifth. Okay, maybe there's a fifth one. My apologies. Or there was going to be a fifth one. I don't know if it's out yet. I remember them teasing it.
I would expect some kind of Middle Eastern area.
No, it wasn't. It was like an offshoot of the same Chinese style warrior.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, you have so many warriors to draw from across the globe.
Yeah, nations across the planet.
And it's one of those, you already have this style. I get that there's maybe a story component to it.
Yeah.
But it was like you said, you've got Middle Eastern warriors. You have ancient
everywhere.
Greece, Roman warriors. I mean, you've got the picks from in England. There's just so many. Even early North American, South American warriors. There's so many you could draw from.
Yeah.
And they would be able to make the gameplay regardless of the fact that they don't. Let's say they don't use swords, they use clubs or something like that. You can make it work.
Yeah.
I was just disappointed for me.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're gonna make it, I'd be one of those, and I'm assuming they're working on more because it's one of those. It's Ubisoft, so they extend the game for as long as possible.
Yes.
They'll
keep going.
I was just like, come on, guys. There's so many other cool. I feel like that would be they have such potential there still, even to this day.
They do. It's so hard because I'll go ahead and I'll read what Bacon Sanity said. Yeah. He said, "For Honor was that one game I completely regret buying. I had a horrible experience and never picked it up again."
I can see that.
And when the game launched, and this happens often with Ubisoft.
We played it.
We did. We played it.
We streamed it.
We streamed. We did. We literally streamed it.
Because you guys were because I was apparently extremely because I remember the comment. They're like, "Mike, how are you doing this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just doing it." And I was surprisingly good at the game.
Yeah.
And it's a fun. It was granted I played this a year or two ago, so it's been a while. I
played this when it was in that closed beta, I think, and that was pretty much it.
It was like I said, it's free. I mean, it was free with Games with Gold. Because then it's funny because then it's like their stores are selling it. I'm like, don't, or PlayStation was selling it. I'm like, don't,
Yes.
Don't buy it. if you can get it for free or even a couple bucks.
And
or
Ubisoft will sell it to you for a couple of
and
bucks
obviously,
eventually here.
yeah, and obviously it's free. So if you've ever wondered about it, give it a shot. It's a very, I don't say niche game. You gotta have a feel for that style.
Yeah, it tries to be a combat simulator.
And
it's not really, but at the same time, it is fun. It is tactical, but at the same time, I feel like
I feel like I can't justify also the story.
There wasn't a story when we played it.
There was like you could play as a night story. You're right. Early on, there was too much stuff.
I don't know.
There is 3 different stories you can play as.
Maybe it was. You know what it was? I played the closed beta. I was like, this is fine.
We played it when it first came out,
and I wasn't gonna buy it because I was like, it's fine.
I said I got it literally with the Games with Gold 1 month. It was free, and I was like, I don't regret it because obviously it's free, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've played Darkest Dungeon.
I have played Darkest Dungeon. I love that game. There's not really too many ways to describe it. It's a tactical turn-based game. It's roguelike.
Aren't they just like little? There's not like full 3D characters.
No, it's 2D animated. It is. Let's see if I can show it.
It's underneath. It's underneath the cool Backbone one.
Screw this.
What makes me sad is I want to play the Backbone one. That one looks cool. Apparently, you're like a detective. Like in like British Vancouver, but it's all animals. But it's only on the PC. Granted, yes, I could play it, but I'd still want to play it on my console. Go down, it tells you what it is.
I was actually gonna see if we can. Oh, of course, game
pops up stuff of like your Backbone, like your actual Backbone.
Yeah, that's not working. Okay, I'll just go to the Steam. I want to find a better Microsoft way of doing this because it's atrocious. Darkest Dungeon is,
and they have a bunch of DLC for it.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a ton of DLC for it. I found that it's really hard. But I'm playing the game on easy right now. Okay, because I wanted to play it, and I realized that it was a little too easy for me. But even the normal is really hard, and I think that's what it intends on. The game can be very overwhelming at times, but if you're looking for dark, like
what do they tag it as? Turn-based combat, dark fantasy RPG, difficult.
Yes.
So it's like I said, it's a turn-based RPG about psychological stress of adventuring. So you can get
you get like paranoid and that kind of thing, and like it has different effects, like your crew and that kind of thing. They'll get like insomnia or something like that. I did have someone who was afraid of water. They would not travel to a certain location. I could not bring them to that location because they developed a fear of water the last time they went there.
That's like, cool. I think that was a smart idea. Like I said, it looks cool. I've never played it because it was only on the Switch. It first launched on the Switch, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. It wasn't on the Xbox.
And I own it on the Switch, and it's a little hard to play. I found just because the controls and that kind of thing. It's much better on PC. But it is playable on console. They do have some playable controls.
Which, yeah, I'm glad. Like I said, now it's come to console and it's GamePass, so I don't have to play it or buy it because it's one of those again. I'm on the fence about.
Yeah.
And obviously, Bacon, fantastic game. I bought both editions, the base game and then the Royal Edition. That's like the Kingdom Come Deliverance. That one is like
I never played it.
It had some issues when it launched, but again, like he said, it was literally made by they actually by the company, they live in the area. They actually went and made they investigated everything and put heavy into it, and they've since had a bunch of DLC, had its own edition. It was on Game Pass last year sometime.
Yeah, but it's
like literally full RPG to it. Like 100%, you gotta bathe and stuff like that. You can bathe. You've gotta.
Wait, what's the point? Okay, now this is where I get worried. Okay, is it like, do I have to eat? Do I have to sleep? Am I gonna die if I don't eat and sleep? Or I gotta drink water? Is it survival game?
No.
What's the point of bathing? Not that there's anything wrong with bathing.
You can because you get blood on your stuff from killing enemies or from in the dirt and stuff. It's similar like Red Dead had that same effect to it.
I don't know.
But you've got to train to be able to swing your sword. You start really crappy, and then you got to build up your...
This sounds really cool, and then the problem I remember having with it is I remember hearing about it, and I'm like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I don't have time to learn to read.
It's because a big map, and I don't know if reading was one of them, but like
apparently it is. You can be illiterate.
Yeah,
in the game,
I guess.
You gotta practice reading.
It's very good. It's one of those I eventually. It's on my list. To eventually, just go back to and play.
All right, let's look at some of the other games we have. We have the Wild of Heart. What is it?
Isn't that the one where like you go to a weird?
The Wild at Heart. We actually heard about this one already.
It's that book, that children's book.
It's similar. No, this one's different. This one, we saw this one. This one is interesting.
But it's only in cloud.
That's a new edition. That's what I'm saying. Okay, is that I knew this game already came to Game Pass. It came last time we updated this, and I was like, I know we already talked about this. So they added it for cloud as well, which is cool. And then of course we have.
I want to play that one.
What is? All right, Backbone for PC. It says Raccoon Detective Howard Lotar is not a hero. He can barely make rent, and yet he stumbled across something so massive that will shake the very fabric of society. Dun, 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 dun. Interesting. I'm not sure what this game is gonna be.
It's like a animal style post noir adventure. It just seems interesting.
It sounds interesting. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if I'll.
And that's it.
And that's it. Now I wanted to show you guys this for starters. Like we have this here, okay, and I'm gonna pop you up something else.
You can go to that page and it tells you all the DLC too, and your perks that you'll get with Game Pass.
Here's the next one. So here's the Game Pass for PC. As you saw between these two, okay, really barren coming to Game Pass today, isn't it?
But what you just said, the fact, and you didn't tell me this before the show, it releases every 2 weeks.
Yes.
You look at the date of the next time there should be a drop, it's 2 days after their E3 announcement.
Exactly. So I think if anything that we're seeing, okay, is because this is like he said and I was talking about earlier, they have a certain date in which it's every other Tuesday, and right now this is the Tuesday they drop games before the Tuesday, which is right after E3. So my guess is they're saving a ton for E3, and I'm really hoping that they show up huge.
There are still 2 more: Christ, Tales, and the Ascent. I don't remember the Ascent being listed. This is in the app, but those aren't until July.
Okay, so they have 2 announced for July. We'll probably see that in a later update.
Yeah.
But so basically, it's looking really barren right now. But I think that's the intent, and I'm really hoping that Microsoft doesn't forget about Game Pass at E3. And I know it's a huge show for showing the games. And
I don't think they can because they promote it so heavily.
Do you think this will be? Now, this is probably the first time that we've ever seen something like this. But do you think this could be a central part of their show?
They
talking
always
about Game Pass?
Because he brings up the fact that all Xbox games come out day 1 on Game Pass.
Which is
Phil Spencer
tremendous.
says it all the time.
All
the
the
biggest
first
problem
party
is like, what deals could they make that would shock people in terms of I'm not saying deals, but what could they get on Game Pass that would be like Tuesday?
Yeah.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like mic drop style. Because all the Bethesda games are on there. All the already Xbox games are on there. I'm not saying, so it'd have to be. I mean, they can have some deals in the works, but I'm not quite sure exactly what it would be. But I assume there's, like I said, there's a reason that they didn't load up about what they did.
It is this week's show or this week's game editions. It is devoid of effort.
It's even bigger than let's say a couple weeks ago wasn't crazy with Conan, but it had Maneater and MechWarrior 5. There was more games, and I still think even then, even though they're not top tier games, you could tell that was maybe a slow week. But this one seems abnormally.
Did you see that? Look at this, guys. Look at this.
4 games.
This is the PC Game Pass one, and this one's typically small because it's like, okay, well, here's the PC only version. If you're only paying for PC Game Pass because you can do that. This is really devoid. Like that, it's not normal to see that.
I think the other part is some of the console style games they still have to make PC style ports. Think about how hard it was to get Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, I don't know if they were worried about piracy or something like that, but they seriously took their time.
Remember, they said they couldn't port it. Halo 1 or 2, the graphics style, they had to go back to the program that initially wrote it, which was old.
Probably Halo 2, because Halo 1 was a PC game.
And they said it was so old, like trying to convert it and all that stuff was a pain. I remember reading that somewhere.
Okay, so nothing huge here, but I wanted to show you guys this at the very least. There was some art that has been published earlier.
Oh, this is official art?
Yeah, this is actually official art. We did see
Why
this.
is his arm red?
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with Master Chief's arm here.
Remember, he did get picked out of space.
He did, but they showed him in the trailer. He had his arm.
Blow his arm off.
Maybe that's something that happens early in the game. But apparently, this was new art that.
It looks beautiful, by the way.
It was supposed to be revealed a little bit later. We did see this actually already.
We did?
Yes, we did.
I didn't.
You did. You saw it right here. So here it is,
okay.
and they actually cover up his arm here. So maybe there's something that's going on. Maybe that's why this is like that. But Halo Infinite,
it's not that way in the trailer.
Earlier. Yeah, no, it's not that way in the trailer.
Unless it's something like they'll have cool cosmetic styles in the game.
Maybe. Something tells me it's story-based. He's pulling a C-3PO for whatever reason.
They never tell you why.
No, they're not going to tell us why.
He loses. I think it's maybe in a book or something. But.
So, not really much to go on there, but I do want to go ahead and at least remind us of a conversation we heard from an interview with Matt Booty, I think late last month, I think it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, he kind of reaffirmed some stuff. So if you're not aware of what's going on with Halo Infinite, I just wanted to catch you up really quick because I did think it was important information for sure. It says Matt Booty was talking about Halo Infinite. And he said, "We know many of you play across more than just your PC, including on Xbox and mobile. That's why we're excited to announce Halo Infinite will support multiplayer, cross-play, and cross-progression when it releases later this year. This means that if you're playing on PC, you can play with your friends on Xbox, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X/S. It also means that your multiplayer customizations and progress will follow you across all platforms. Now, if I ever wanted to play an online game like Call of Duty or whatever, being able to have crossplay, this is huge.
Overwatch.
Yes, I want this with Overwatch. I want this with
You've
Overwatch
lost.
2 for
How
sure.
much level did you lose in Overwatch?
I'm so mad. Mondu is a higher level than me in Overwatch, and I know
No
that I
disrespect.
play this game like crazy.
No disrespect,
No,
Mondu.
no respect for Mondu at all. But like he's sitting there and he's got a higher level than me, and I'm sitting there with like my baby noob level, and I'm just like, I'm literally like half my level that I am on PC.
Exactly.
Or I'm the same level I
And you
was
had
on
to
PC
get
as
all
console.
the skins back.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Yes, so I want to see more cross progression, across the game industry at large. I knew I was going to have to do that with Overwatch
which is stupid because it's a BlizzNet account.
They could do it.
Yes,
and which was unfortunate because I lost a ton of skins, but at the same time I was like I want to move to a more professional environment and play better on PC, so I did that and I had to reset everything. Destiny 2, yes, Nick, absolutely is one of those. So I don't know if they ever. I think they did it.
I don't know.
I think they finally pulled the trigger. I'm not sure. I just noticed my PC runs Destiny 2 like garbage, so I just don't bother. And now I have a Series X, so forget it. I'm never going to PC again. I don't think I'll ever pick PC for gaming again when it comes to like a hardcore release.
Yeah,
I have a
standard,
Series X,
yes,
which is just an intense
standard
machine. Style.
If it's PC only or like same thing. That's what I do. I kind of just had speaking in tongues here. So yeah, that's my go-to method is, and people are like, especially my brother is always like, why, he's a big PC person.
Yeah.
And that's fine. He's got a nice PC.
And
I have a good PC. I bought one.
My PC is okay. I can play
I have
Cyberpunk better than
I have
an
a
Xbox
top tier
One.
PC. Well, I don't know if I have a top tier PC, but I have a really good PC, right?
Yeah.
Instead of going from a 10-year-old laptop to a PC, I was like, boom, wow.
For the record, laptops are just always.
I'd had it since like I was 18.
I'm never going back to a laptop again.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, I will play my Steam-based games. I'll play my, Age of Empires, those style of games, my turn-based strategy, or the ones that I cannot physically get on my Xbox.
Yes.
That's what I play my PC for.
Yeah.
I know it's no disrespect. I can't, for me to sit there and use a keyboard and mouse, I just can't do it. Whereas,
I'll say with confidence that you and I are console gamers.
Yeah. That's how I've grown up. That's how I will always probably be. And like I said, I love my PC. I love my Steam catalog, my game. That's why I love this PC for Game Pass. I got Age
Yeah.
of Empires and all this cool stuff that I owned the disc for as a child.
Yeah.
And I can play it then. It's a more pain in the butt to be like, all right, I can only sit at my PC for so long.
Yes.
Before I don't have a really PC chair either. Like I just have a basic chair and it can get. Whereas like.
Gotta invest in your back, man.
Yeah, I number one, I just need to invest in my room.
Yeah.
But like, thanks for that. No, I'm kidding. So like, but whereas my, at my Xbox, I can play it before I go to bed.
Yeah. Nick put an interesting thing. He said, "Wow, Chuck went to PC, turned right back around to console."
That's because they were like, boom, PC console combined.
Like, if my PC was better, I might play more. But even on Overwatch, it has everything to do with the keyboard for me. Like Overwatch, I literally play with an Xbox controller in my hand and the mouse in the other.
So
I'm
weird.
playing with two.
So weird.
I do not. Keyboards are the worst controllers of all time.
Yes.
The worst controller of all time. I don't care how many buttons you got. They're the worst controller of all time. Well, this is I say it every time, and I bring it up every time. Just plug any controller into PC, and I do. But when Cyberpunk 2077 runs like garbage on my PC at 30 FPS,
yeah, and I'm not gonna try to map
res?
buttons, even though I have a Steam box. Why am I gonna try to map buttons for a RTS or a turn-based? It doesn't work. You can't do it. Like if it's mapped that way already.
I used to play WoW with a controller, and I was like, this is dumb.
It's not possible. It's just that's what I'm saying, Mondo. Like I get it to certain games, but I cannot play Age of Empires. I cannot play all these other Crusader Kings and all these Age of Mythology, all these other games that I play. I can't play with a controller. It's not possible. There's too many.
You can do it really slowly. You can move around your cursor on the mouse with the controller.
Yeah, but they're not mapped that way. Yeah. So.
Nick says 100% agree. A keyboard is not a game controller. It's a typewriter. It is. It's like trying to play games with a typewriter. I'm like, wow, I can press all the buttons. You can, but do I really want to find I at the moment? No, not really. I want to press a bumper.
I'm trying to think of like, I use it for like the Old Republic, but I was told that's not a good way to play MMOs is with the keyboard because you're slower in turning than with the mouse.
Yeah,
But I'm just I'm
not going to play an MMO competitively, admittedly.
No.
I'm doing it like PvE.
Yeah. Still, it's Steam yes, but it's still, but then you got to have, all this stuff. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let me keep going into this. Do you guys think it's time that we get a family plan for Game Pass? Some people think so. So, one of the disadvantages, unfortunately, is that Game Pass doesn't have a family plan. And I think I think it is a cool idea. Basically, what happens is like right now, my daughter, I have to sign into her PC with my Xbox account so that she can go into Xbox Game Pass for PC, install a game, log onto her side of the computer, and because it's installed on the computer, can sign into her Xbox account to play the game that I installed on her PC.
Yeah, that already works. So if I have Game Pass on my console and someone wants to play it, they can.
They can.
So there's no need for a family plan.
Unless you have more than one Xbox.
Then you just sign into that console. Problem solved.
You can, but see, here's the problem. I'm signed into my PC, her PC, my Xbox Series X, my Xbox One, all in the living room.
Okay.
And it does function, but it's a pain.
How is it a pain?
Like you have to set consoles to different home consoles, like depending on which one it is. I think my home console.
I don't even know how I never still figured out. That's for like when you buy games.
Yes.
And sharing them. I never did figure out how that works.
Yes.
But I'm talking about in terms of Game Pass. All you have to do is, to my knowledge, is log into your account that has Game Pass, and then anyone on that console can play it.
Yes.
So then, why would they need a family plan when they're just allowing anyone on that console to play it?
It's complicated. So, for example, okay, so Nick said, oh, right, I'm paying for 2 Game Pass accounts to play Sea of Thieves with my wife. So right now, you can pull that off because there's only one way to pull it off. You can't be on both.
You played it with Lori. Lori was on console and your PC.
See, but that's its own conundrum. I have 2 Xboxes. So, like, having like so basically kind of what they were comparing this to was like Netflix and that kind of thing, where it's like I can log onto my phone, no problem. I can log onto a PC, whatever, and we have so many different accounts on there, so that we're kind of allowed to do that. This goes with very common with multiple streaming platforms. And I don't think it's like completely horrible Like, the whole thing isn't, like, falling apart. The structure works, but it would be nice to get an easy way to do that. Having profiles on Game Pass and that kind of thing
The
could
problem
be really
is,
cool.
the problem with this is, and I'm not saying it's a problem.
Yeah.
The automatic, the want for it is okay.
Yes.
But when it happens, there's only, and it's not, I can't blame Xbox, because Netflix is the same thing.
Yes.
They're going to complain because they're going to have to pay an increased fee of some type. Because now, instead of wanting another Xbox Game Pass,
Yep.
that's fine. You want to do multiple, same with Netflix. You have to pay, I pay the top tier for Netflix, so I can have like multiple devices.
Yes.
You're wanting multiple devices on multiple systems at the same time.
Yep.
You're going to have to pay for it.
What if we include it in Game Pass Ultimate? Instead of on the base version of Game Pass, so it's like, okay, it's part of Game Pass Ultimate.
Then people are gonna.
Then people
exactly. That's fine. But people are gonna complain. Well, I have Game Pass and I can't play it. There will obviously you can't. Please everybody.
I want to see this as a basic improvement. Because, like, for example, it would be cool if my daughter could sign into her Xbox account. Now, one of the cool benefits of this, okay, is that my console has Xbox Live on it. Everybody on the console gets the Xbox Live.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Game Pass.
I would love to see a family plan across all of that. You know what I mean? Including the Xbox Live. Like, I have Game Pass Ultimate, which comes with Xbox Live entirely. So she's on my system, so she has Xbox Live, but she can't get into Game Pass. She has to go into my account to get to the Game Pass, but she can play the games I choose to install on the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to install the games you want.
To...
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I feel like they probably, for Nick's point, maybe, you're going to have, it's going to be, I don't know if it'd be necessarily just free. Because you're literally losing a Game Pass subscription. And again, yes, whether people want to say, oh, that's not consumer friendly, it's still a whole month, a whole X amount of dollars. It's still going to affect the bottom line, which
I think
to some companies that is important, regardless of how you feel.
Yeah,
that's the reason these companies continue.
If I had to pay $30 a month for two people to use it, like right now we have a functioning system. It works.
Yeah.
Okay. If I had to pay $30 a month to use it, I probably wouldn't do it. I would be like, no, one person gets it, and that would be it.
Exactly, but would you pay 20?
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay 30. I wouldn't double the price, but I would pay
because
additional.
That's just two Game Passes stuck together.
Exactly.
It's already dirty.
So,
what I'm saying is if they said, all right, you have a base one for what is it, 15 something?
Yeah, it's $15 a month for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, they said, all right, $5 more, you get family plan.
Bam.
You
want to make money? I'll do it.
3 or 4 people or
yes.
5. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I would do it.
But people are going to complain like, why are you charging us more? Because you're losing a Game Pass.
Don't pick the family plan. Just pick the base. Most people will probably only use one Game Pass.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying is for families and households, like you're going to have to charge. There's a reason Switch charges more for a family plan.
Yeah, $20 a year. That's nuts.
No, the family plan is like $34.
Oh yeah, I think $35 a year
compared to $20.
I'll pay $35 a year.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it's
but
so
people are going to complain. That's my only warning is that you can want this, but when they come out, which hopefully they do. I see what you're saying. Nick's point makes it more clear than your point.
Here's the best part about anybody complaining. Just stick with the normal one.
Yeah, and that's the thing is if they say you can have X amount of accounts, let's say 4 or 5 is usually average, or 3. Would you, exactly, Bacon, there you go. You can do that. It'd be like a tiering system. People are going to have to understand, though, that's the reason they do that is because they're losing that Game Pass subscription. They have to make it up some way.
Makes sense.
So, okay.
I bet they would sell
then, yes, if they did it that way, which it seems like that's the Netflix style, I would call it, I guess. That would make sense. It would work. It would work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's nuts. $35 per year for 8 accounts on Nintendo Switch. Admittedly, Mondu,
you're not getting much.
You're not getting much. Yeah.
You get the NES and you get the
Netflix, and that's
SNES.
That is the best. That is a great value. But if you're not interested in those two things, you get nothing for your online.
So yes, I will agree with that. Like I said, I can see people begging for this, and then when they get what I feel like if you use the Netflix style is a perfect way to do it, then they complain.
Yes,
I have to pay more. Well, that's how it works.
This is interesting. So this is something that I notice I've heard about as well on because I play a lot of Overwatch and that kind of thing. This is huge.
Is it the one Bacon guy says?
Yeah, he's a keep
Never
in mind,
heard this.
Some pro gamers and many of us have multiple Xbox accounts for personal use. As a former FIFA guy, I would have my money
account basically.
My money account and free to play accounts. Yeah, and this is something that Overwatch does where they okay.
Why?
It would be nice if I didn't have to buy a copy of this PC game for my daughter. But I did. I had to buy her a copy. Luckily, Overwatch is $20.
Well, it's because it's a new PC.
Yeah. And, it'd be nice if she could just, I can install my copy on her PC and she could just log into her Blizzard.
Well, they don't have
how WoW is and that kind of thing.
Yeah, they don't have.
I guess it's kind of not true.
The whole that's the downfall of no longer having discs.
Yeah. And, she wanted to play, so I had to buy her a copy of the game. And that's one of the huge things in Overwatch is that there's a lot of people I don't understand why they'll pay $20 so that they can make a Smurf account so that they could be really low leveled and just play against players that are unskilled or lower skilled levels, and then just dominate. It's like you wasted $20 in this.
I think
it's a real thing.
My brother did it, but the way he does it is he has he does Rocket League, and he's got a main account. Yeah. But then he has other accounts that this will be for certain, his friends, to where he's not worried about his. Yeah. So I get it to that degree.
Yes, especially if you're professional, have a sign for fun.
Yeah, account. You don't want to lose your tier just hanging out with some friends. Yes. I'm one of those where look, I'm going all in with my main account. That's just how I am. That's me.
You are the Skyrim guy who gets level 100 in every stat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna. I'm invested in this. I play. I have my one account. I've had my one account since 2007. I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
If I don't want to lose. There's no point in me going doing all that stuff just because I don't want to lose ranks in a game. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not really in for that. Nick said, "Oh, weird. I noticed I'm not." Oh, okay, never mind. Manu talked about Netflix, Tetris 99, Pac-Man 99.
No one cares about that.
And online play. The problem I noticed is that, their online play is garbage. As good as the Wii U's.
Better or worse than the DS?
And I didn't pay for the Wii U's, you know what I mean? And it's still equally atrocious.
They just can't do it.
I just... Nintendo has no online talent. They do okay with Mario Kart Online. They have the worst netcode for Super Smash Brothers, which makes it unplayable for me. And Nintendo doesn't have enough online anything. I will go Xbox every single time for online. I don't even care.
The only thing they do, I guess, I don't even think it's them. It's their Fortnite, Apex, but that's not them apparently running the servers. I guess I don't.
No. Nintendo doesn't run any of the online servers. They just allow you to connect. So, I don't know. Becky said, I would have an account for FIFA Ultimate Team where I spend money on it, and one poor man account where I play the game with no investment, which is good. I think that's, and especially if you
if you're doing it,
yes,
I guess. Sense. But then at that point, why are you on your poor man account if you have all these players on your main account?
Yes, I love how Bacon Sanity talks about a free to play account. Even though you have to buy, you still have to buy the game. Yeah. Yeah. But it's just interesting because the investment in FIFA is not the $60 you pay for the game. It's the all the packs and everything else.
Why am I drawing a blank on it? Their Ultimate Team.
Yes.
They never made SNES controllers for the Switch, did they? They made NES ones.
I think they did.
They made NES ones.
I can't remember if they ever did.
I bought the NES ones because they were on sale. There was a sale once. I bought.
I have the NES Mini, so
yeah.
So I didn't even bother. Nick says also trickery thing about Sea of Thieves. My wife keeps.
It's not a trickery thing.
Xbox
it's not a trickery thing.
For the frame rate consistency on PC makes her nauseous, so she needs to play online.
I don't want to say frame rate consistency. It's. I think Nick, it's graphic lower. Your PC has better graphics. That's basically what the problem is.
No, better graphics wouldn't make you sick.
Yes, it is. It's more realistic. That's why she gets nauseous because it's seat stuff.
Whereas
the OG Xbox, you can't see the beauty of the seat.
No, not that. No, what he's saying is that because PC has this varied frame rate, it messes with, because it is a first-person game like that. This is very common with
VR.
No, the neighbor game. Hello Neighbor. Okay, even I borderline got motion sickness from playing Hello Neighbor on my OG Xbox, and like they have some wicked FOV going on. Like your field of view is like back here. Okay, like it's like back here, and you're walking, and it's just about makes you sick just playing that game.
Still not trickery.
Bacon says people with no money spend on Ultimate Teams. People with no money spend on Ultimate Teams as a whole different personal accomplishment. Also, keep in mind for many sports games, matchmaking can be based around team strength, which is...
Yeah, because you buy the players. They're basically based on real players. I
can't speak to sports games as I'm not part of it, and I understand. I wasted well over $300 on Hearthstone already. That's kind of been on pause for now. I cannot imagine paying to play a game like that, and I understand. I think the wider
that's the biggest draw are those games, because they vary though too. That if that person is hurt, it affects them in the Ultimate Team and stuff sometimes.
Like, if I have to pay to win
it's a trading card game.
Just an absolute no. Yeah, but how many years upon years upon years upon years of trading cards are you just throwing away every year?
Oh wow, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Everybody enjoys things. Like I can't.
So the other, go ahead.
Good. I can't even with that. Like I don't even have the mindset to get into paying yearly and then throwing it all away. Like I buy Call of Duty. Okay, I used to buy Call of Duty yearly, and I would invest the $60 every single year.
Yeah.
But I wasn't buying DLC. I wasn't buying loot boxes. I wasn't buying. I lose everything every year, but I was enjoying the experience. And I don't know. Is like
you're right.
Those sports games, is it that
yes.
good?
Well,
there's so many people that do it. I mean, I can't.
It's
obviously
well,
I'm
you
wrong.
also
I know
remember
that.
FIFA is bigger in Europe and let's say European countries and South. It's not very big here in the States.
Yes,
it's growing, but not as big.
I'm surprised it's taking as long as it is. Is it just Americans are stubborn?
No, it's just we have American football. We have that, whereas that's not really a big thing. I think it's also it was more of a staple in European countries.
Yeah, but how come the entire world?
Because
like
most
focused
of them,
on
because that's
soccer.
their sport. Because they don't have our football.
Yeah, but let's say they watched football. I mean, like it has not gone anywhere.
We play in like they play in England, but it's just the staple. It's something easier to do. They don't have because you can just get it. That's already ingrained into their culture. Whereas us, it's more of your football is more ingrained. Our football is more ingrained in the culture already. They already have that style of setup where it's easier just to just pick up a soccer ball over there and a football over here. That's just how it is. That's what they grew up. And because remember, all these
cultural, I guess.
Yeah, all these American, there aren't really great. There's only a few American soccer players that are on the national stage.
Yeah,
and you have to remember that in Europe that they have teams.
Maybe it's the lack of role models in America for soccer. You know what I mean?
There isn't really, like I said, there's like
basketball's pretty huge here.
Well, yeah, basketball's huge here. It's big over in China. Think about hockey. It's big here and it's big in Canada. And
baseball,
it's
big in Japan.
No, but and hockey's good across to some European countries.
Yeah.
It's that those two for whatever reason because we already have our own. I said
it's probably, admittedly, like the whole football thing. Whether we know,
I guess
it
it'd just be.
I think it's sociologically now, or even economically, it's probably the money.
Yeah.
Why to keep it going?
And the I'm thinking about too is I think some people see
maybe Americans are just terrible at soccer.
Well, clearly they are. Well, not the women's. Women's are the best.
Yeah, the women's team apparently great.
Because I follow them. I think the men's just lost the other day. But back to what I was saying is I also think it has a factor of maybe action. You get more things are happening in America, and I'm not, this isn't a bash on anything.
Yeah, no.
But in American football, there's more going on maybe at one time than people running up and down with the soccer ball, as to what they see. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So just my observation from someone who kind of big football. I'm a big football fan. I watch the soccer during FIFA, the Olympics, stuff like that, World Cup stuff, just to see how well the USA does. So,
yeah. Sorry, that was a great idea. So thank you for that, Monder. or Mike, thank you for that great idea I just wrote down.
Okay.
I'll tell you more.
So I'm gonna call us out. Miss Michelle is my mother, so we're just throwing that out there. So
Hi.
she knows many stuff. She knows stuff about us. So if it sounds awkward when she talks about us, she knows the secrets. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yes.
she says, "Oh, I watched him growing up." Don't think she's just some weird stalker.
That's-
She made it.
that's
She
true.
actually made a point that I didn't really think of.
Go ahead.
You can use those poor man accounts if you have like kids.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Let's see. Bacon Sanity said Mike Trout on the MLB the Show is 450,000 stubs,
Which is their
subs being the
currency,
current
yep.
currency. You can buy 15,000 stubs.
For $100.
What? For $100? What? Or you can earn them for playing or buy them outright, for example. Depends on if you'd rather play the game on no money spent and earn Mike Trout, or buy him outright for $350.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who would pay $350 for a single player?
He's also one of the top tier players in baseball, though. So putting him on your ultimate team is automatically gonna boost your team up. It's the same. It's the same with gacha games, bro. It's the same as if you're gonna go out there, because like I said, I play Galaxy of Heroes, right? I love Galaxy of Heroes.
That game is the nastiest gacha game I've ever seen.
You haven't seen some gacha games, then. You're
right.
You
It's the
haven't
only
dipped
one
your
that
toe
I
in there.
bothered wasting time on because it was Star Wars.
and
It was
it's a better free to play. It's easier free to
not
play
bad. That's
than
why I hate
most
it so
other gacha games.
Yes.
I've been playing it since it released, so I think
Yes.
I can't remember how long. I've maybe spent $100 over the entire time I played it.
Yeah.
But like I said, there are people who go and drop that money just to get their characters leveled up faster. I can't logically.
$350 for what? To pretend you're a higher level team than somebody else's?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Because there are like little seasons and stuff you do, but it's the pro part of it, man. That's the FIFA, that's the Madden, that's that pro aspect of it. You get those ultimate teams.
It sounds like pay to win.
It kind of is.
But then why get into it if it's just pay to win?
That's
Would you just let Mr. Millionaire over there spend
Because it's how-
$1,000 and win everything?
because that makes them feel. I'm not saying that's what makes them feel, but they created their own team. That's the closest thing they'll probably be able to play in soccer or football or hockey or
that's the coolest part of
NBA.
it. Is that like I think it's so cool that you can make your own team and that kind of thing. Like talk about like fantasy football. It's like that's the best version of it.
This is it.
That's so cool. I think that is the coolest concept I've ever seen. But at the same time, like
Yes, I will agree.
$350.
Yeah. Now he's probably saying that though because if you think about it, there's an actual auction house on these games.
Yes.
So that's his average going rate. You could still could still pull them in a pack. But again, it's like trading cards. The chances are extremely rare. Think about Pokemon cards. It's so different than all this stuff. You heard about all this crazy stuff with Target stuff aren't selling Pokemon cards.
Yes.
Some dude
It's all
pulled a
gone
gun.
now.
Yeah. And then like people are pulling like hundreds of dollar cards out of packs. It's the same aspect. There's an auction site for this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could get lucky and pull them, but the chances are probably point whatever or one per out of X amount of. It's like a lot.
Yeah, I know. I totally get it. I'm just so confused. Megan Sanity said to grind to get him and be the best is addicting. That's why no money spent is so popular. It's also interesting to see how people play the in-game markets and economy to profit. Yeah, which is its own little meta game. I mean, Nick and I used to do this on World of Warcraft with their auction houses.
I can never figure that out. I just don't have the brain that like my brother can make billions of dollars no matter what game he jumps on, MMO wise, and their version of the auction house. He's like, oh, I have like 1 billion credits. I'm like, you've been playing this game for 48 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just you guys
It's
do the
its
same
own
thing.
game.
You just do it. I'm like, guys, I just want to sell my stuff and make money. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like I'm just trying to like I'm having a garage sale here, guys.
Yeah, it's insane. But like it's just like stocks.
Yeah, absolutely. In-game markets, absolutely. They're very cool. I'm just, whew, man.
Yeah, I get. Mandu made a good point though. It's one thing, but the grind shouldn't take longer. Yeah, because you're right. You got a year.
This is one of those things.
My mom just called out.
I saw it. This is one of those things where I remember when Star Wars Battlefront 2 first came out, and yeah, we had the whole debacle about it's like, oh, you want to play as Darth Vader? The reason people bought the game. You had to grind for preposterous amount of time. He doesn't think it was. I remember when it was at launch.
I had everything.
It was ridiculous.
Granted, I had everything bought after playing the story within like 24 to 48 hours. It wasn't that hard.
It totally was.
It was not.
I don't know where you got the credits from, but like you could play that game for like 20 hours, okay, and you'd finally get enough to unlock this character, and it's like, and then you're back to zero, and you can't get Luke Skywalker. Like, that's how bad it was when it would launch. But, I mean, like...
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. Once people explained it better. Because some of their comments didn't make much sense.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where it was like... I couldn't imagine saving up so much and then going right back to zero. It's like, I finally got one character, and I'm never going to see the second one.
Yeah.
Because I need to grind equally as hard to get that character.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me keep going here. Bacon said, where EA gets into trouble is unlike MLB.
It's
the purchasable
not?
currency is not the in-game market currency. You can only buy packs. MLB, you can buy currency and immediately buy the player. Interesting.
Okay, so is he saying... Actually, you're right. I never thought about that.
Nick said, no money spent being popular doesn't change the fact that someone can pay to have it in seconds. So the defense here is that you can buy the character directly with free points.
But I think let me go
random.
with this though. The reason I think you can get away with this and not necessarily considered free to play is because you still have a full roster of whatever sports game you're playing.
Yeah.
Just because, and I'm using Bacon Guy as an example here because he plays it.
Yeah.
Bacon Guy may have a lower rated team.
Sure.
May not have it. He could probably still beat you because he knows how to play the game and the mechanics of the game. Just because let's say I go out and buy all these 99 rated people, I may lose just because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I think that's actually good. Bacon said he said the same thing. He said getting the tools doesn't equal being able to use them.
Exactly, 100%.
That's a good point.
You could have a very good. What am I trying to think of? Toolbox. But if you don't know how to use the tools, it's pointless.
Yeah.
So
that is interesting. So obviously, that is one debate, and I admit I'm not going to sit here and tell Bacon or anybody else who plays the game that they're wrong. I am clearly the wrong when everybody else is doing this and paying for this. FIFA is insanely financially popular. Okay,
that's what drives
spend money.
EA's games. Is FIFA Ultimate Team, Madden Ultimate Team. Hockey has one. I assume it's big in some certain countries. You don't hear much about it here. It's usually Madden and FIFA is what we hear here because those are the two big sellers.
Yeah. So I mean, admittedly, as much as I could sit here and try to dunk on this or say whatever I want on it, it's like, you know what? People are still buying it. Even if it's not a great practice or anything like that, it's like, but they're still buying it. I think we're the ones in the minority here. We're the ones who are kind of wrong on this. It's the same thing when we talk about Fortnite or we talk about Call of Duty with microtransactions. Like, people are buying them. We're kind of the ones who we're sitting here I'm like, it's a terrible.
And if
idea.
you want to know what we're talking about, the cool thing is, and if people can say, Nick likes to say it's an Xbox show.
Sure.
Go on to GamePass.
Yeah.
FIFA's on there, Madden's on there.
Yes.
So is
One day
MLB is on there now.
One day I want to torture us and I want to force us to play a sports game.
I play sports games. You wouldn't be torturing me. So all these games. And remember, MLB is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So go on. You can see what we're talking about. You don't have to spend money, but like I said, what I do though is I prefer the career mode. That's just me, because then that's like I make my own character and stuff.
Yeah, that would probably help a lot.
That's my style. But that's what we're saying is you can see what we mean if you're interested in doing that. You can download one of these, like I said, Madden, FIFA, NHL, even MLB. All these sports games are on Game Pass. And like I said, you can kind of see what we're talking about, like in terms of that, make your own team and like you can play online with other people. It's just their version of, of their multiplayer.
Yeah.
So it's
and you know what?
good.
People love it. They really do.
It makes EA bank.
I think
EA makes bank.
Bacon said he said I quit FIFA for the main reason that I put money into the game and can only buy packs. The contents of those packs is how I earn the market currency to buy better players.
So okay, I didn't know. See, I didn't know that. So MLB you can buy the currency and then you can use that currency to buy packs. You can use that on the marketplace. I thought you could buy, but now that I think about it, you can buy Madden. You can't buy Madden points.
Okay, I know exactly what Bacon's talking about now. So, Hearthstone does the same thing where, okay, you can craft any card you want, okay? but the only way to craft a card you want is to get packs and disenchant cards, basically grind them into dust and then use that dust to make the new cards. So you have to buy packs to make the specific card you want,
so
or
I
hope
think
you get it
what you're
randomly.
saying is, I didn't know this, was that Madden, you can only buy packs. You cannot buy there is no currency in there. There's a currency when you sell the cards, let's say on the marketplace. There's an auction.
Oh, it's gotten worse.
And that's what I'm saying.
Oh, no.
And this person could be worthless to you.
Yeah.
And so you get, like, you pull a pack, because they give you free packs in MLB, because I was playing last night.
Yeah.
And I can sell this player for 10 stubs.
Yes.
But maybe I'll pull a good player who's a couple hundred stubs. I just sell everything because I don't play it.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of stubs. Whereas you can do that. The difference is you can go and buy stubs at any point.
Yes.
Whereas
this
Madden, Madden and FIFA, apparently you can only buy the pack and you just sell it that way.
Yeah. So
I think NBA though 2K does it the same way MLB does. Is you can buy, they have their VC.
See, here's the other thing. Yes, you're right. The virtual currency.
For whatever reason, I thought Madden did that, but I guess they don't.
Who knows?
You're right. I never really heard of Madden points. It's usually just Ultimate Team.
What I was saying about Hearthstone, okay, for example, like if I see a card that I want, okay, and I have enough dust to do it, I can just make the card. It sounds like with FIFA, it's even worse. It has to be available on the market, and the market sets the price availability of the card.
Yes.
So if there's only a few in circulation, the only way you're going to get that card or get that character or whatever, or that player, okay, is number one, it needs to be in circulation, and the price is set because there's only a few really high.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just kind of messed. Versus like a Hearthstone, for example, I can just make the card I want, and it's the same price as any other great card that I wanted. This is definitely one of those worlds that I do want to explore more into. But for now, I wanted to say thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of Game Pass Plus, your premium edition for your Game Pass subscription.
Where you get more bang for your buck. I'm gonna, if you need me to record one, I will record it for my little Canon thing. Stay tuned. Mandu has a cool little Canon thing. Actually, maybe on Sunday if you were here on Sunday.
You can actually see it in, I think, general chat of the Discord server. If you haven't joined the Discord server yet, scroll down to the description where you can find a link, I believe, that is updated.
And follow the instructions because it doesn't use normal English to get in. I got stuck at the door.
It's English, believe it or not, guys.
Coming from someone who's all about grammar, I did grammar and it wouldn't let me in the door. So next week we'll talk about Maneater. Yes, obviously.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, we are going every other week for our game. So we give ourselves at least 2 weeks to really play and enjoy the game, figure it out, talk to you guys, and report back about how it is. You guys can go ahead and check that out next week, I believe, which is the 8th of June, which will be right at the bleeding edge of E3 as it's just about to begin.
So if we don't have a lot of news, bear with us. Like I said, I think it's gonna start dropping. We're at the peak of the mountain. We're almost at the peak of the mountain here.
We're about to go for a
Plant
downhill
the flag on Everest.
News ride. It's gonna be great.
So yes, and then is there anything coming up? Didn't Tyler or one of them have a show today?
Yes, Tyler will be live, I believe, at 1 p.m. Central Time for the rendered image. Check that out. It should be scheduled on the channel already, so you can check that out later. If you're interested in movie news and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Don't forget to subscribe, follow and liking the video and subscribing. It helps the channel grow. Thank you guys so much for joining us, spending time and just hanging out. E3's almost here, and I'm so excited to talk about it.
It's literally less than 2 weeks away. It's a week and a half. How about that?
I should also say, before we go here, our streaming schedule will probably be tipped over all over the place within the next 2 weeks. So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll update you on what's going on. If you have subscribed, you'll get the live notifications. So no worries. Don't forget to ring the bell if YouTube just isn't sending you live notifications because it doesn't want to, and it'll do that. So this Thursday we will be live.
5:30.
Schedule's pretty normal. I think next week is when it's going to start getting weird, especially after this time next week. So after Game Pass Plus. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Yes, see you next week. As I say here.